John, right? I can't see faces.
You're like, what's your name?
No, but it's funny because I keep seeing people and I'm like, I think I got you, but with glasses.
Hi. Thank you.
Hi.
Can you set up some time or soon have a positive?
Huh?
We'll soon have the
Oh,
positive.
I wish it was
We'll soon have the positive on it.
Red.
You guys meet?
Brandon, you're good. You got 6 viewers. You should say hi.
You know, I think
And we'll be with you shortly.
No signs, please.
overall,
That's the way to do it. That's why we kind of flopped it over to stay there.
Do you want one of these, Robert?
Where's the shade? Where are the shade trees?
I know.
I think that was on your list, wasn't it?
Grow.
They haven't grown yet.
Wait, look. Right here, John. I don't know what your problem is.
Just gotta get
tall,
just
man.
gotta get right spot. We saved 2 pieces of sidewalk.
Good. How are you?
They look nice.
Yeah.
Neighbors shouldn't be complaining.
I do. In that rolling
They
cart
did this thing
inside.
about it. Such a weird. You visited before we tore it down. I saw some of that. Yeah, so let's just sit down.
You know, my flex.
It's been a while. It's been a long trek, but she was in the senior home, so it was kind of remembering going and all of that.
Possible next week.
She's in a better place.
It's like 2 weeks. Well, you know, hips and knees are so good at it, and feet are just very complicated. And he was trying to, he's a really good surgeon. Trying to look at motility and locking stuff out. But he's got a carbon free.
They're in the windows, but
Externally, they're good.
There's only like 40 of them though, so you're gonna. Does he always look with his eyes closed?
Most of the time.
You gotta keep dry.
Look at him.
He does pretty good building with his eyes.
Oh, yeah.
That's all you need, right?
but I didn't have to go where it needs to get it passed out. You want to put that back.
house.
Hey, you. How are you? Hi, Donna. How are you? Good. How are you? I picked up your
I believe it. I see it in the eye.
It's here. How are you? Good. I've known you since you were born.
Did you
Let me
Brandon
think who
have
might know.
pictures in that?
No.
Or Vanessa has them? Vanessa, she knows.
Mason. Yeah. Claire moved to Georgia.
Oh, wow. Really?
Everything. And you know Jacob? Jacob James?
Oh, yes.
We moved to Roberta. Good.
My brother.
You can go from a corner to a long, so about half the door. And there's tape and scissors and everything in my little rolly cart.
Got an idea. Aren't you hot? My daughter does the same thing. How old are you?
Larry, go stand in the shade.
My daughter just turned 15.
Yeah, right there where Becca's at.
Sweatshirts and I'll be dripping sweat on the tank top.
Cooler.
And black.
I know.
It's a
I don't get it.
I'm not that one.
Yes, so.
How are you doing?
Oh, yeah. No words to describe.
Yes, no, I've got, I know, of course, but at least, I mean, at least people I see. How are you? I'm good, how's everybody? Hugs, hugs, and elbow bumps and all of that. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's my own thing.
Tammy, are you back at the office?
I do 4 days, so I do Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Bonnie?
I didn't know if you needed us all here.
Could you help Albert with the ribbons?
Oh, sure.
Hi, Sam. Good, how are you?
Probably wind up crying. That's what I'm like. This is my best friend April and her husband Eric.
Where's your mom and dad?
They'll be coming. Yes, they have masks. I have one better.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Breathable?
Gotcha. And I have to get these.
These were made by my boyfriend's stepmom. She mailed them to us. It's been in my purse. How are you?
Peppermint.
I've been watching your posts.
Is that where you got yours? That's where I got this one. Oh, did you?
Not at work, but
Yeah.
just,
Triple pack. blue and black. Okay. And then I saw an ad yesterday, I think I saw it on TV. Some businesses are having the logo put on. Yeah, that's pretty sad.
That's pretty good, yeah.
You look great. Yeah, I'm pretty much.
It doesn't feel like it's
Right now, I thought
That's why I figured out how, if I kept slipping under my glasses,
she said when she told me. I didn't say anything about that. Yeah,
tell her that.
yeah, I was over there, and then I saw it. I was trying to get your attention over there. I was like, she's busy, so. But I wanted to come say hi, 'cause I haven't seen you forever. It's been crazy. Yeah.
maybe you feel comfortable. Maybe going someplace that you don't usually attend and making a spot from somebody that does go through. I don't know what we're going to do.
We decided to stay
I saw your picture the other night.
present.
And that's what we did.
I saw your patio the other night, or your picture on
That's
Facebook.
probably
Like
the
the first
plan
time I
for
saw
a
it.
while.
And I was like, oh, so excited for you. How is everybody? Oh, yeah, I hear you. I've been waiting for it. Sometimes they're closing to the bank here.
The church wherever we are.
But I'll try again. That was a while ago.
Okay.
I had a kind of interesting afternoon. When I owned the pharmacy, I had kids back at the shop. Well, way back. 1995, they came to work on me as a cleanup. They come in at 5 o'clock.
Which pieces and get out of here.
He was one of those kids.
Nice try, Slick. Dang it. I cannot believe you. Can you believe that? There you are. I was like, where's Leslie? She's late. Oh.
I saw him. I saw him and I said,
I feel like I put it in there.
No, I did it because I thought that's what I got down. Sorry, Sherry.
anyway.
Hold on, Pam.
I can't remember. They don't get their keys today, right? And they're signing later. I just said something.
Hold that like that, it's live.
Nicole and Sam, do one of you want to do it? Which one of you would like to do it?
You can tag team this.
Better, Pam?
Try to project, it's all coming through this way. So just to get started, left to right, can you tell me both your first and last name? Perfect. And can you spell both of those? So just to get started, it's been a long process for you guys.
Okay, thanks, Pam.
Might just be red here.
Not this year. Not this year.
Yeah, Haley did last year. She hasn't been over this year yet.
Sally's here, she's down.
I went through a tour yesterday.
Yeah, I see the results. Yeah. Yeah. She hated that last year because she didn't have the arms. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's got a nice little deck.
Good job, girls.
Good job, thank you. Like, I'm not going up there by myself. You're going. Yeah. Sorry.
Hey, Larry.
Oh, it's right here. Okay.
And they're labeled.
Okay. So
Yeah, my name is on the front of the Bible.
great. How are you? Doing good. Good. Nice to see you.
coffee filter and my trash is running out.
Came out pretty nice, right? Really looks good.
Think about it.
Yeah, it sure does.
I was gonna do it. And I thought, no.
You're good. Let's do it. I've got we're not doing our notice.
So Frank, you recommend it, right? It makes sense, right?
Or 25.
You would do it again, yeah.
I would never let you get some. Definitely.
Nasty. So crazy. And this is just like dump a whole TV or something to say that.
Oh, I did see that. It actually coming out.
Right?
I said, you family here? He said, no.
I wish I had it. Is there someone in particular we're waiting for?
No, I don't even know what time it is. My phone.
Right at
How's your summer going? Haven't been flying all over the world, have you? You guys are building a house. Oh, congratulations. That's a lot more important than that. Probably agree to boys.
He's in disguise.
Unless you go like this.
So when we do our speech out, we want to do our best.
Line up before we go in, and then they're going to scorch you. It sounds like school or something.
Cody's car sounds better.
Oh, there he is. I didn't even recognize. She's over there. Right there. And my brother's right here.
Can you guys hear good on Facebook?
Can you hear me on Facebook? I'm going to take my mask off to talk, but I'll do this right. Come on up a little closer. Well, next 6 feet actually, but get within your 6 feet as best as you can, because it might be hard to hear. We're trying to get people to speak. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Denise. I'm the executive director, and I'm here to welcome you and kick this party off. This has been a really long process, and I'm already feeling emotional, so forgive me. Maybe something that people don't realize about our organization is we are social workers. We work with people as they're applying for the program. Sometimes we're helping them with their collections, their debts. We help find resources in the community when they need them. We also help them during the ups and the downs. For this project, you'll probably hear, it's been a long one. Nicole has been in the program, I think, 2 years. So we get to know her pretty well. So that's one part of it. We also are bankers. We have to know mortgage laws and follow the rules. We're also builders. I don't know that I could personally build a home, but I could probably supervise one or come pretty close. I know what's right and not right. And then we become the banker when we're done. So we, as a staff and our volunteers that help us, whether that's our board of directors, volunteer committees, or volunteer builders, really have a lot of steps that we go through before we get to this point today. So as I was reflecting back today on this entire process, and I was actually listening to the news, and I was reading things that were going on around the country, and I'm just so saddened by things that I've heard the last few days that have happened. So thankful that we live in a community where we weren't having those things happen. But with this particular project, many of you saw and heard some of our challenges along the way. One of them was, of course, COVID happened. COVID happened right when we were just about finished. So it kind of ended the volunteer life for a while. We had a few that showed up, thankfully. We had enough space to be distant. But our staff really had to finish the rest. But also, we ran out of money. And for those that don't know, we had to pay for the land. We pay for the materials as we're building. So this project began a couple years ago when we built our budget. And of course, things changed a lot, and we were over budget a lot for several different reasons. And we used a lot of collaborations to build these projects. The first house was built by Women Build Project, so we had a lot of women that did fundraising, that came out together and built and learned, and that all came to a stop. We were right smack in the kickoff of a Women Build campaign for fundraising, and it stopped. The middle house is an Apostles Build house, really sponsored and funded by collaborations of churches and our church partnerships, and those volunteers stopped. And some churches weren't able to follow through on a lot of their big commitments to us for funding, understandably. And our third house was really sponsored by businesses that would come out as groups and pay to play, pay to come out and build and have fellowship with one another, and it stopped. So here we are with a huge debt, and the house is not finished, and we were struggling as people were staying home. Our restore was closed. It was close to a panic for a little while, and we reached out to the community who really helped us get through this. And one of the things that we really said was, at that time, home was everything to so many of us. We were home more than we were anywhere. We were home. Now, if any of you know me, know that my life is crazy at my household. I have, my husband is demanding. I have 13 grandchildren, in and out. My children are in and out. And at the end of the day, I can go in my bedroom and I can shut the door and I can have my space. And for these families that are going to be moving into these homes, they didn't have that. And it was so apparent to us, all of our staff that did have a home to go to know that that was your safe place, That was your safe place that people were having to work from, having to have kids home from, that had to figure out those arrangements, and maybe they didn't even have work. But we really tried to emphasize what the importance of home was, and the home was safe. And when I think of today, when I was really hearing back or looking at with the news, what's going on in the world, I just thought, I am so thankful that I can be a part of this process where I know 3 families and 2 for 6 kids who today don't have a bedroom of their own will now have a place to walk in the door and shut it and have their own space. It just means so very much to me to know that we're able to provide that, to know that these 3 families have worked so hard to get to this point and have been so patient with us as we've moved forward slowly. And for all of you that have had such a part in this, I appreciate you, and I thank you for allowing this to happen for these people, because home is the best place to be. You're going to hear today about thanking our volunteers. Brandon's going to take over for me in a second. We're going to introduce our families. If you look at on your program, we have a list of people that helped us with the funding for this project. This was expensive. Like I said, we have to raise the money to build the houses, and this was the first time we did 3 at a time. So it was just that much more we had to do. But we also have a lot of people that donate material and in-kind services that we didn't include, because the list could just go on and on. But we had roofers, and we had flooring people that did spring wheels, and we had a lot. We had one of the heat units or the HVAC unit donated. We had so many in the community that really helped us, that really show our community will stand together and help one another. So I also want to make sure that, and I know Brandon will, really thank those volunteers that were here. I really want to thank our staff that were here building, and I'm going to quickly pick them out, and then I'll hand this over to Brandon to move forward. So if you are what we call a regular builder, go ahead and just raise your hand. And if you've been here and pounded some nails. Before we built there was one house on this project, and we tore it down. We had environmental problems. We had with architect issues. We had with so many logistical things that were over my